Hi, can you start by introducing yourself, please, and how
My
old you are?
name's Lucas Da Costa and I'm 19 years old.
My first question for you, Lucas, have you ever experienced racism?
100% in many ways. Job interviews, outside, walking.
Can you tell us about a time that you felt unfairly targeted or treated that stands out to you?
Especially in school, I feel like job interviews, like I just mentioned, I feel like they treat you unfairly. So,
In,
especially because I'm a black man.
in what way do you think like systematic racism affects you and the experiences you have?
I feel like it affects us by not letting us have many opportunities.
And how do you cope with like the toll of witnessing racism everywhere you go in your community and elsewhere?
I don't find it comfortable, acceptable, and I feel like there needs to be a change.
Are there any like specific instances where it shaped your perspective on the way that you look at stuff and the way you navigate life?
It has made me a stronger and a different person, 100%.
Have you ever educated others about racial issues?
Yeah, in my past. I haven't done it recently, but yeah, in my past.
What part do you think you can play in stopping racial injustice?
By helping the community, telling people what's wrong and what's right, sharing my experiences.
Okay. And what change or improvements would you like to see? And do you think racism will ever stop?
I don't think racism will ever stop because of the way other people were brought up and stuff like that. Yes, we can make a change, we can make it better, but I don't think it will ever stop.
Thank you, Lucas.
No problem.
Can you introduce yourself for us, please?
My name's Andy. I'm one of the volunteers here on a Saturday morning helping out our lovely food bank and our lovely people and children of our community.
Okay, so Andy, have you ever faced racial injustice?
Well, a few times in my life, I've faced it by people where they talk to us and the way they have treated me. But that's something that it seems to be a part of English life. It's not nice, but it is what it is. It's about how can we change it as a people.
Do you have any like stories where you feel that you've been unfairly treated or judged because of the colour of your skin?
Well, when I've been working before, I had people treating me because of the colour of my skin, where they have talked down to me. When I was a lot younger, I used to work in the kitchen department, just preparing food and washing up things. But the way that the chefs was talking to me, I realised because of the colour of my skin and because of my work effort, because they can talk down to me, and sometimes we can have it and most times we just can't have it because it's wrong.
Have you, well obviously you have, but do you feel that racism has ever impacted your experiences, like places you've wanted to go or opportunities, jobs you've went for?
Well, the problem with racism, it affects your mind and your brain, so things that you think you should be going for, you don't go for them. Especially you think that the people or the places could be racist, why would you go and work there?
So how do you cope with the emotional toll of racism?
It's very hard to cope with it, but the main thing is to understand here we are all the same people. The aim is about yourself, for you to look at yourself and say, let me do what's best for me. So that's about what they got to think. What anybody else tells you, it's about you getting through this system or this world amongst different people. It comes in different forms, racism. It's a bad mindset, but it can be overcome.
Are there any moments where racism has motivated you to do something different?
The difference is not goodness, that's the only problem with it. But when I've come to a place that my community club, it's taught me that people are just people. It's just a bad mindset that people have been taught from when they're children. So if something can be taught, it can be untaught too as well. So we can find different ways to express ourselves without having to use violence. It's about getting through to yourself, getting a good education to understand what's going on around you. And to understand, I could tell you one instance when my cousin married a white man, and we was a lot younger them days there. And my dad always says to us, give him a chance. He's a human being. And he was right. It's not about the colour of your skin, it's about what goes on up here. That's where racism starts from up here.
Do you think the media feeds into the stereotypes of black people? Or young black males or older black males?
Well, it's the establishment and the elite that I believe is the cause of this problem. It stems because if I can degrade you and make people think that you're less than what you are, people will tend to believe it. You keep telling a lie long enough, people will believe it. But we know it's not true. So yes, it can happen, but it's for us the people to understand that you are bigger and better than what people think you are. So you got to show people, say, hey, what, I am a human being and I don't deal with injustice, I deal with justice. So anybody who's been talking to you downwards, you laugh at them, you smile at them, but you get where you want to be for yourself, which is the main thing, is to educate yourself. We never saw this when we was younger, because indoctrination towards that, we're not going to get that level. But we can be where we want to be by projecting our mind there and working hard for it. And there can be changes, there will be changes.
Have you ever had to educate somebody on racism?
Most people are not really listening, and it's very hard. It's hard to really understand it to the full, or we will say to understand what's going on around us. So I've tried, but I don't know if they really took it on personally or really understood what I was trying to say to them.
Well, obviously it has, but would you say racism has evolved, if that makes sense? Like, people are finding new ways to be racist.
I haven't looked at it like that. That's a good thought, that one is. Well, I would say that it's just that people are more undercover with the racism. That's the problem. People will smile at you, but really truly they don't like you because of the colour of your skin, where they're not good people. So I would always say to you, most of them, stay away from them.
Do you think racism will ever end? And do you think there's anything we can do to improve racism?
I would think if we can make the elite, because the elite is the ones who run the world, I think it will change eventually if the people can understand that we are one people. We come from one original source. No matter if you black, white, Greek, Turk, everybody, it's not me, it's the establishment, shall I say, the anthropologists, the people who study people, they say we come from Africa. So that means that we are from one set of people. We may change our colour of skin, but the mind is from one source, which is Africa. So I believe that racism can change, it will change, but not for now.
Thank you for your time, Andy. Can you state your name and tell me how old you are, please?
My name's Daniel, 19 years old.
How do you navigate racism, Daniel?
How do I navigate racism? So how do I basically see it?
Like, yeah.
Oh,
How do you deal with racism?
Bro, I can't lie to you. The way I deal with racism, I just brush it. Like, I just think it's a normal thing nowadays, isn't it? And it shouldn't be normal. You know what I'm trying to say? People should just be together and look at each other as one. Yeah, but yeah, the way I see it, someone's being racist to me, just brush it. I just let it go.
Have you ever felt unfairly targeted or treated different due to your race?
Yeah, 100%. I do think so. I think in school, I might do like one little thing and I'll be in trouble, but like, I think, let's say a white person, I remember a white person who said to a head teacher to suck their mum, and she never done nothing. All they done was sent them to the inclusion room and they came out like in lunchtime or something like that. So
in what way has racism impacted like your experiences? Like your opportunities, let's say.
How it's impacted it? I don't really know, like, I don't think it's really impacted nothing.
Okay. How do you cope with racism? You just brush it?
Yeah, I just brush it. I don't really deal with it.
Are there any instances where racism has shaped your perspective or like motivated you?
Yeah, I don't think it's motivated me fully, but I mean to the slightest. But oh no, when I see like white people next to me and trying to do something, I feel like I need to push harder, because I think there's literally a stigma that white people, like, they get more opportunities than like, us black people. So I think like there's an automatic push in it, but other than that, I think family makes me motivate. Rise 365 makes me motivate. ACP Network makes me motivate. So,
do you think the media represents young black people in a positive way or a negative way? And do you think they play into stereotypes?
Definitely a negative way. I don't really see anything positive on the TV about black people. Yeah, there's definitely a stereotype. I'm not gonna lie to you. Police, when they see black black people, they want to search them straight away. I've experienced it. My friends have experienced it. My family has experienced it. So.
Have you ever tried to educate somebody on racism and they've been ignorant to you, like rude?
Nah, they haven't. They haven't been rude. I've tried to educate people and they try to take it as much as they can. But the answer that they give me is that, is it really gonna stop? And I'm not gonna lie, I think that the same. So.
Do you think racism's like evolving, so people are finding new ways to be racist?
It's a funny question, actually. I don't know, to be honest. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know.
And the last question is, do you think racism will ever change, or do you think it's just gonna carry on? And what can we do to improve racism, like to help stop it?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna stop, and I don't think there's any way to stop it, to be honest, because people have their own minds. People have family. People have generations of family that are just racist, like naturally racist, and for them, they don't want to change. And trying to speak to them, like, because they're so racist, they won't even try to speak to you. Then I'm trying to say, try to educate them. They're not involved. So.
Thank you for your time, Daniel. Well done.
Thank you, Solo.